Hello world, my name is Thomas Shannon, but you can call me Coach because that is what I am to you. I am your life and soul coach. I am the founder of Podler Theory and brand. I am Naiji and a prime among my kind. It is now time for me to show myself to you and teach you the many supremely important laws of nature that you don't know, but need to desperately. You are welcome, and you've been warned. The purpose of this filming is to meet a challenge that my other has set forward to me to do, to show myself, to show my process, so that's what I'm going to do. I don't find the proposition comfortable, but I will do anything I can to please my other, and so this is within my ability, so it's getting done. But this will be raw, a Naiji doing their process at the earlier phases. Naiji are very secretive, and so that plus the HSP makes it not something that I really want to be doing natively, and it is arduous to do so. But she wants me to do that, so I'm going to do that. Part of that is I'm supposed to give you a running commentary of how it works for me in my native way when I go liquidy in my safe places that I can find in the world. So that's what I'm going to do here. Know this, I'm only here for my other and to get my Fumasta. I already have Fumasta, I have a lot of Fumasta, but I want more. I always want more, and I want to improve things that I think I already know that can always be better. So in order to do that, I have to have heroic challenges put in front of me. My other does that for me, and I have to do the heroic things to be victorious. I need to be victorious. So I guess that's important to notice. I'm going to be challenged greatly in this filming, and I'm going to be victorious. So the combination of the fact that I'm going to do whatever I need to do in order to accomplish what my other wants of me, and the fact that that's going to push my limits, this is important. One, you need to understand that this is very difficult for me to actually show this much of my process, particularly as I have my limits pushed. I don't like showing my game period to people as a general rule. And then the more important it becomes to me, and the more it is pushing me, stretching me beyond what I can control. I am a control freak. My process natively I can't control. I can control what people see. I can control how I use it, things like that, but I can't control the actual process, especially not when I need to go top game, because when I go with my best game, I have to just let it go, and that is very liquidy, jumps around a lot, so there will be changing of moods as needed, and intensity, and jumping all around Podler Theory, for example, and other topics, and I don't really think about other humans being able to follow me. Normally I don't think like that, not natively. Natively, me and my spirit form mentors, my imaginary friends that I've never stopped honoring, I do things and then they give me rewards based on whether I do that, and that's the most important reward system that I pay attention to. In order to do this, in order to earn the right to do this, it is a right. I know, it is funny because it's going to be very, very arduous, but it is. It's an arduous honor, and I am heroically eager to throw myself at it. I want to do that. Even things are very arduous, I'm always very pleased with myself that I did that, and my others pleased me, and it's just better all around. So the juice is worth a squeeze, but you got to push hard sometimes, so I'll be pushing hard in this series. In order to earn that right, and also to give context, a radial need to be set up. That radial is set up now. Podler Planet gives the general theory. The other channels kind of radiate out from there. Then you have sort of Mojo Journalism, kind of explains everything to everyone who knows pod layer, either people who are pod layer or at least know enough to understand the added layer of understanding that we give when we cover stories. And then hunting heroic humans and things like that. There's like our outreach program, our scouts into the land of the possessed, the deranged, those who are not pod layer, who can't read, that don't know what they are, don't know what people around them are, don't really know what their life is, and thus anything. So we have to give them that. I've done that. My team has done that. So that is in place. The one thing that's remaining is there's going to be a filming on principles of pod layer. That's going to kind of be like a general overview of the principles, the major ones that come up, because all the disciplines of pod layer, they sort of inform on various ways of looking at life, and there's no way to actually learn these maths, these sciences, these arts, these spiritual ways and not update and change yourself into a higher, better being, but you won't be you anymore. There's a lot of that, and the inability to follow what I'm saying is going to often be based on that. So you need to watch that and make sure you're cool with all the principles of pod layer, and if not, then just work on it until you are. That's annoying. Normally I would just cut this out, but my other doesn't want me to. I'm not going to edit that out. That pissed me off. I feel like I'm assaulted. This is my special room to film, so when those outside noises, they pierce through my walls. It does. It feels like laser beams are coming through my ship's hull. It pisses me off. I don't like when fucking creatures that I don't agree with their life practices exert their will on me. It makes me want to exert my will back. I've got a lot of will. I like to exert it. I like to find heroic things to do it for and against. Pod layer, I want to exert myself with everything I have, every fiber of my being to make that happen. And that, I want to make that, It's not that helicopters don't need to exist. Helicopters do need to exist. It's just the way everything is set up. Right now, I'm talking liquidy. That happens when I talk naturally like this. I wasn't planning to talk too naturally here, so I'm not going to go too natural, but I'm slipping into it, so that's fine. But I was just going to kind of get warmed up to my first episode. But anyway, that speaks of a greater life situation of memes, myself, everything that allows the whole constellation of events that cause that scenario to happen. That's kind of Naiji work. Really cool things happen, really not so cool things happen, and they sort of lock on what made that transpire. What were all the intersecting story threads of different people's lives and whatnot that made that happen? Okay, back on task. The ritual, well, the channels being set up, there's going to be many more, but just that base amount there, that actually is a ritual of authority. It combines some other rituals as well of the Mazut, such as separation and intention, basically saying what we're about. This is sort of the capstone here, Truth Fire Dragon, which is my ritual of authority. So I'm going to speak in my native voice now, and I have earned that right. You may not agree with what I'm saying or how I say it. I don't care. I don't give a shit. And fuck you. Because two things. One, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't see so much, and so you're talking out of your anus. That's what's happening there, so fuck you. Next, fuck you again for not canvassing, because it really annoys me when people don't canvass. Use my language, but that's my true opinion on it, and that's what other wants me to give you, my true opinion. My true opinion is fuck you if you're like that. Have you canvassed the material I put out before you watched these episodes? I don't need you watching these episodes. I don't really want you to, I'll be honest. I do as a total of me, the being, because my other wish is that, to take me to my Fumasa. So for that reason, I want to. But as the apparatus side of that, the Naiji side of that, no, I don't want to. That's my job. My job is to not want to do it unless it's worthy. And she's saying it's worthy, so it's worthy, but you humans, you need to work harder. It's on you. There's a ton of stuff you don't know, and you need to, and that's what you need to do before you watch this. So watch everything that's been put out by Podlair before you watch any of these. And no, check that. Watch everything, and then watch the principles. And then make sure you're cool with every single one. And then you can watch this. If you have not done that, as far as watching all the stuff, and you cannot do that for some reason, such as you can't get past certain natural law principles, that's your fucking problem, and you are to stay away from me. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about anything that you are spewing out of your fucked up head. I don't care. I only care that ignoring, it's irrelevant. It's just stupid static. I don't listen to stupid static. So that's what you are to me. You are stupid static until you've actually looked at what I put out, my team has put out, until you see all that you don't know and start actually catching up. This is for people. Those are all to help you catch up. All those other channels are to help you out, guys and girls, catch up. This is for people who are actually caught up. This is for like extra credit. This is just me doing what I do because my other wants me to, and film it. What's going on right here is an honor. It's an honor you don't deserve. You don't. I'm going to reveal myself. My other wants me to be honest. She's greenlighting me this. She wants me to talk like this. Okay, fine. So I'm allowed to be pissed off at you. Good, because I am. She's clapping. Okay, cool. So I don't like you, and I think that you don't deserve this honor. I don't think you deserve it. And here's why. Right now, you're looking at a human who is exceptional in both abilities, just generally, and heroism, what they're doing with those abilities. You don't know this. You don't know you're looking at when you see me. Even people who are reading Mojo, if you can't read at 100%, you don't see me. You don't see me. I see you. I see the world. I see you on TV. Every one of you humans, when I see you, I'm actually looking at you. I actually see your stories. I honor you in this way. You don't honor me. You don't see me. Okay, so go to the principles, includes a whole bunch of things, but all of those are so you actually know what story we are all in. Until then, you're a fucking zombie. That's what I consider you. You're a fucking zombie. Now, you can unzombify yourself. That's what heroes do. When heroes realize, holy shit, everyone's jacked in the Matrix, they get out. They strive to get out of being a zombie or being jacked in the Matrix and will themselves into be conscious, shining heroes. That's what I expect. Does that seem like a high standard? I don't care. Do it. Do it. There is my tone, my mood, my intensity, so forth. I don't feel like talking to you guys. I don't feel like explaining this to you, but that's what she wants me to do. Explain it to them. Okay, I will try to explain it to you all. It takes... I don't even like talking about my fear. Seriously, I don't like speaking and giving it voice. Generally, I like to skip right to the part of the simulator where I fuck up anything that tried to make me scared. That's my way as an IG. But the fear is there. It's what drives the rage. The rage drives the change and beauty and all the good things that come from it. But like that. I mean... Oh. Short version, I'm dealing with a lot of fear. Let's just leave it at that for right now. I'm dealing with a lot of fear. So, the key thing to focus on as far as the math of it in this situation, this situational math, is I'm dealing with a lot of fear, but this is not fear that I should be having to deal with. To some degree, as an IG, that's part of the process, and no matter where I was born, what place and time, there would be that issue. But there are certain times and places in human history that are much more extreme than others. This is the extreme of the extremes. So I am carrying your stupid for you. I am carrying the repercussions of what will happen if you don't stop being stupid. I'm carrying the fear of the repercussions of what happens when I try to help you become aware that you're being stupid. I'm carrying all this fear and I shouldn't have to. I could shut it down in a weak way by just blacking it out, ignoring it like you all do. I could allow that weakness to happen. I could allow myself to not see the truth because it scares me too much. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go forward. But I have to get angry to do that. I have to get angry at how dare fear, like a boss monster, how dare fear try to keep me from doing what I need to do. So, fuck you, fear. That's what I have to say to you. Fuck you. For those of you who are uncomfortable with this, I don't care. Go get the truths I have to give, which are the most amazing that have ever been given by humans so far. And you can just wait in line till it trickles down through all the channels, trickles down into, you know, your local fucking bookstore, and you can pick it up with your latte. I don't really give a shit, but I'm rolling how I roll, and you will either get it or you won't get it wherever on the stream you decide is comfortable for you to squat and hang out. This voice I'm using right now, this is Epic Apex Natural Teacher Voice. This is the voice of someone who needs to say what they have to say regardless of their own fear, the pushback of the environment, the static and noise that's trying to get in the way of my voice, wah, getting through to you. I have to get through. Have to get through. See that? Whatever it takes, up, down, in, out, I need you to pay fucking attention. Ooh, wow. All of that. Does that bother you? I don't care. I need your attention. I must have it. I must keep it. Okay, so if I don't do this, I won't want to or be able to voice at all. And if that happens, you won't get the answers. You're not getting them on your own. So I have to give them to you, and this is the voice I have to use in order to do that. So this is the voicing of the human math you need. If I don't use this voice, you don't get the math, and you need it. So this is the sitch. Each day, things come on the television, internet, whatnot, friends come over to my little cave. They say things to me about what's going on in the world, and I have extreme reactions. I go liquidy. I get all, you know, well, you don't know, but I guess I'll be showing you. So I get upset and I want to voice my opinion. I want to enact my opinion on that subject, that topic, that story. I have opinions about stories. As an IG, that's part of the moodiness. You see stories and you have very strong opinions about stories. What are they, and where are they going, and where should they be going? And what can I do to make that happen? I'm not comfortable enough yet to speak with you like that, like right off of being reacted by something. But I want to get there. My other wants me to get there. She wants us to get there, so I want that for her, and I'm going to make it happen. There are some things I have to unpack, some archive materials, videos that I have that will be coming out on this channel. They are appropriate for this channel. I mean, according to my other, I don't know. By secrecy, I would say they're not appropriate for anyone to be seeing. In fact, when I filmed the majority of these that she wants me to show, I did not think I was going to be showing them publicly. She kind of tricked me there. Well, she didn't trick me, but she got, well, she kind of tricked me. My other kind of tricked me there a little bit, in that she got me to film some things more in my natural voice, because it just seemed like the easiest, most convenient medium to help my friends get what they needed, my few close personal friends. And so, yeah, long story short, I did not think that I would ever be using it in this context. If I had, well, I won't say I would have balked totally, but I would have balked some. Yeah, she knows me well. She knows me well, and so she kind of tricked me there. So anyway, long story short is that was her way of helping me get to this point. So basically I need to unpack them, I need to show them to you all, and then once that is done, then I'm to continue from there with this new rapport I will have established with the world. or so goes the theory, but she says it, I'm going on that faith. Ooh, does that faith word bother you? I don't care. I have faith in myself. I have faith in my other. I have faith in natural law. And that's the why I can see and do things that you all can't, but you really need to. As far as the ritual experience, ritual ladder, the unpacking of these archive materials is a ritual of elucidation. Because it comes from the Daryu, the ritual of confusion, or the area of confusion, that part of the Daryu experience. With Podler coming into the world, there's going to be confusion. A lot of the confusion has been cleared up by the various channels, and it's going to be more cleared up. All the samples that are going to be read by Jarlene, all the dismantling of other models that Demas is going to do, and just etc. It's all going to be laid out. Part of that is myself, how I work in general, how I work as far as how I plan to go forward, how I work as far as Podler theory. How did Podler theory come about? What was the apparatus, the instrument that made it, and how did that happen? Both the sort of principles of the way I work, and then also you know, my history of what led me to what. That's not easy for me. I have serious problems with amnesia, and unpacking these things is going to bring me into contact with a lot of things that I've blacked out. I've blacked out lots of periods in my life, and so these things, I filmed them during periods that I don't remember a lot of them, and so to see them again, it's going to be a little weird for me. But my other one's going to do that, so I'm going to do that. There will be raw style, well, yeah, raw style broadcasts. Those were some filmings I did a while back when we had some different students of Podler. Those students didn't work out. They didn't do the things that they needed to do. They weren't heroic enough, and so I don't have contact with those people anymore, and that's painful to me, so I don't remember much of that period. So I don't think necessarily, because Jarlene says that I was basically just answering sort of technical questions, but still I know that that was the period of time that came from, and I was also, you know, talking very casual, because these filmings were done just to be casual between people. Anyway, there's also these things called the Daily Dope. That little series that my other Nexie, she wanted me to do. This is when she was kind of letting me know that I was going to have to do something like this, and so she wanted me to talk on camera with me knowing that was happening. This was a very bad period for me. I've had a lot of bad periods. That was a bad period, and so, well, it's just uncomfortable. But Nexie, she did that as a favor for me, although it was very uncomfortable, because it was to show me that I would do whatever I had to do, so that no matter how gray things were seeming right now at that time, that the important things were my relationship to my spirits and my code of conduct in being their conduit, their representative in the world. And as long as I did that, that I was doing good work and I was getting the credit I deserve from the most important sources, which are my higher spirits. So that's another period that is quite foggy in my mind, and it was, although I knew I was going to film. Well, I didn't know I was going to show it. she had me do it as like practice. I didn't realize I was going to be showing it, but I did do it with that kind of idea in mind, that it was like that. And so it's just not something I want to do, to see myself from back then. But that's what she wants, so that's what I'm going to do. Then there will be unpacking of just any other miscellaneous stuff that doesn't seem like it might go another channel, and just go here, just things that I have in the archive, things like just sort of like well, just two that I have here, but there may be more, is that I just went off. I was upset over some stupid things that people were asking in emails or whatnot, and so I just went off, and actually my students recorded some of these. And so I guess we'll just call these random rants. So my spirits also want me to unpack any of the random rants that I can find in that computer. We're getting more and more kind of intimate here. Fourth set of things to unpack is I am estranged from my family. And my friends from my past. And short story is I needed them to hero up and come with Pod Lair. They would not or could not, and my spirits found that unacceptable. I was put in a very uncomfortable position. I told of my former people as much as I could. It didn't work out, and so I had to do a ritual to sever our worldly connection. I still, of course, love them and want the best things for them, but I just can't be associated with their lives or in their headspaces until they come and understand Pod Lair, because, well, short version, it fucks my head up. And I've did a lot of Pod Lair and learned Pod Lair in order to save my mind, my heart, my soul from the life I found myself in when I woke up in this world. And I climbed and climbed and climbed, and I got out. And now I want to, save others, but I can't enmesh myself in the lives of those who aren't doing Pod Lair, because it lessens my confidence, it lessens my clarity. And my confidence and clarity are supremely important that Pod Lair gets done. I have to make sure, above all else, that I'm able to keep enough confidence and enough clarity to do the work that I need to do. And so that means sometimes I have to make some very hard choices. I guess that's some things I'll also be sharing with you is, I don't know how personal I'm gonna get with that, but she wants me to kind of, just talk about, when I make hard choices, kind of thinking process I do. Because you have to make hard choices. Jazz hunters have to make a lot of times very hard choices. And, Naiji make unprecedentedly hard choices, and this is the most incredible thing that's ever rolled out, the truth that I'm bringing. I'm not trying to brag right here, I'm just saying it's going to be epic, and it's shaking up the world, which really concerns me a great deal, and I have to make sure I have sufficient ego and equilibrium to do the tasks that I've been given to do by my spirits, and I've sworn to do. Before I knew anything else, any mean got to me, I swore to my spirits that I would make the better world they put in my mind's eye. That is my first obligation above all else. That includes family, friends, former colleagues, anything like that. So I had an email sent out from my team. My team did that, but in order to give them, it came from me, but I had my team assembled it for me because it was quite large. In order to give them the material to do it, I filmed it. So my other wants me to also unpack those. That's very personal. but it's part of it. It's part of how Podler got here. It's part of being an IG. Not saying all IG had to do that. I'm just saying, but these are the kinds of things that occur in an IG's life. And so here I am, and I need to present myself. I'm not perfect, but I am the human for the job, and I intend to get the job done. Going further back, there's a period of my life where I really had trouble keeping good, cohesive self-identity, just say that. My spirits were very unhappy with me because I was listening to everything my spirits were saying to me. I never stopped doing that, but I firewalled it as far as encountering the world overly, because I didn't think that my spirits would be properly honored. I didn't think I would survive the introducing of it, and I didn't think that the fallout was going to be a positive thing to the world or people I brought to at that time, for most of my life. My spirits were pushing on me to show my truth, but I didn't want to because I was scared. I was scared there, that said it. So I was scared. I didn't want to take the looks that I was going to get from my family, from the world, friends, things like that. I didn't want to have to deal with that. And this is important. I am a supremely independent-minded person. Most people who know my whole life are like, that dude goes his own way. But still, I do care. I mean, like my mom, my dad, you know, my closest friends, Wolfpack members. I mean, I'm not immune to these things. I'm a G-Mojo. These things are very important to me. But, that's the word, okay, so be it. Sacrifice. If they must be sacrificed for the greater good of saving the whole planet, of saving the dream that my other put in my mind's eye as a child, and I swore I would do everything I could to make happen, yes, I will do so, and I have done so. That is currently the state of things. It has been so for a few years. So I will be unpacking those as well. As we're saying, going back a few years is during that time period where it got very acute, as I was trying to span this gulf between what my spirits wanted and were telling me and the world. I was just stretched in so many directions. I was splintered. I didn't have cohesion. I was shutting down. I was shutting down. And I've had issues before. You know, things have gotten really bad. There was another time, my 20s. Well, I had a few in my childhood. Well, I've had a few really bad periods. And so they kind of blacked out. I don't remember them too well. But I know that during that time, it got really bad. And I filmed some stuff because my spirits were on me so much to express the truth, and I had no intention of doing that, at least not at that time, or in that way. I had not signed that line yet. They were forcing me to sign on this spiritual line. They do that all the time, and so I'm aware of what it means to do that, and I didn't want to do it. I was scared. Scary stuff. What IG do, what I'm doing is scary. But that's where the attachment comes from. That's where the independence of mind comes from. That's where the righteous rage comes from. The need to get over it. So, Naiji get over it. So, Naiji getting over it sends the beginning of us, so I'm going to get over it. And I will use those things. I will use my detachment. I will use my independence of mind. I will use my righteous rage. I will use warp frenzy. I'll use whatever the fuck I have to get it done. Well, I got very liquidy, and so I had to do some filmings to just see what my spirits wanted me to do. They were putting me in a very dangerous state, and I was having a very hard time controlling it. So that's me being out of control, and I am a control freak, so that will be the last thing I unpack. But next he wants me to unpack that She says everyone that I unpack is a gift of the greatest honor that I can give to her. I'll be honoring her with that more than I've ever honored her, and I always look for new and better ways to do that, so I'm going to do that. But I want you to understand, this is a process of me and my spirits, and you are all just observers. You need to be respectful observers. Long story short, the last one that I'll be packing, I melted down. And not that I haven't melted down before in my life, but that was particularly bad, and it was on film. I filmed that. That was the beginning of Nexi wanted me to do that, to do certain things on film, to capture what was inside me. So that first time I really didn't understand what she wanted from me, and so I was feeling very cagey, so I was shifting in and out of characters. Well, I wasn't in my right mind, but I did the ritual. I mean, the ritual was successful. I did what I was supposed to, and actually did help clear the derangement I was under to a degree. Build issues, but as I do these rituals to both learn Pod Lair and then to teach it, I feel better. My mind feels better, my heart feels better, my soul feels better, everything just feels better. So that's the way I'm going. That is the one way I'm walking. Before I sign off, my other wants me to let you know what my state is in these various filmings. So my current state is that I don't have much money. I have all my eccentricities on me to extreme degrees, but I am focusing it so that although it is disabling me to a large degree, my apparatus is still able to focus on what I need to do for Pod Lair and to keep my confidence and clarity to understand the truth of the theory and to put it out in the right way using the right people. So the theory and judge of character for people and choosing the right heroic ways for Pod Lair to go and then doing that. That part I'm putting all my resources on, but doing that is taxing me greatly. And my HSP is really, really high right now, and I'm having a lot of symptoms, but I am kind of shifting the symptoms around to keep them away from stuff that deals with Pod Lair confidence and clarity. But it does mean I rarely leave my apartment. I need my team to help me with things. I get lost often. I go in and out of lucidity, so I lose lucidity, but when I'm losing lucidity, I do know that I'm losing lucidity, and so I kind of just, you know, I kind of just let the nerves pass. I let the fogginess pass. I don't go anywhere. I stay close to my base, to where I kind of know the scent of. I can find this place even, you know, when I don't know who I am. Sometimes for little periods of time, I can still find this place if I don't go too far. So I try not to leave it ever. But when I do, I try to go to places that I know very, very well and give myself like a lifeline back here. I don't like talking to this. It makes it sound like I'm weak. Man, I am a strong human. You don't get to be able to read people like I can and do things that I can do without being a very, very formidable human. But my HSP is part of it. And actually me being this forthcoming, you have to be very strong of an IG to even know this much of yourself and then to show it. So don't misinterpret things, is I guess what I'm saying to you. Fear, as I mentioned, I'm dealing with daily panic attacks. I wake up in the morning, panic attack, I kind of rage through that, and then I use the incredible rage it takes to get over that, and I channel it into doing work projects, Pod Lair work projects, and then I just go until I'm exhausted. And then the fear kicks in again at night. It's horrible. I take sleeping pills every night to get to bed, or I won't get to sleep. I've been insomniac my entire life, but it's really bad. At certain points, it's really bad now. I go to bed. I have my nightmares. Sometimes I wake up in terror sweats. Other times I actually manage to make it through. Wake up the next morning. I kind of know that my insomnia worked me over during the night, which leads to a panic attack. But then I do at least have the fresh energy of having slept through the night, so I do have that, and I use that to rage and get over the morning panic attacks. So I generally have panic attacks every morning and every evening, and then during the day I can stave them off by working, and getting flags forward for Pod Lair and saving the world. If I'm unable to get flags forward, if there are lulls, if there is a becalming of the ship moving forward, if there's HR issues, if there's technical issues, so like there's like just some sort of like Z barrier that I can't figure out how to get around, or my people, because I can't. Last thing, I have a lot of phobias, so I often have periods where I can't look at screens, which makes it difficult to work. But I do what I can. When I have my phobias overcome me, I go to areas of my house where I can't see the screens, or turn my back to them, and I write notes. And then when my nerves pass, I go and I put them on the screen, or I give them to my crew. So I deal with lucidity, I deal with panic attack issues, but I do know when my lucidity drops. I know that's happening, and I'm aware that it is caused by taxing my apparatus greatly just by the size of the algorithm, but then also there is the fear. So the size of the math that I'm working and trying to put out, combined with the fear, I get panic attacks and loss of lucidity, and they're really kind of one and the same thing, although they sometimes feel differently, because when I have the fear, I tend to be aware of what's frightening. Sometimes, depends. Those mainly happen at night. The terrors where I actually, I have to watch out at night. Night's dangerous. When I go to bed, because I wake up, I actually, at night, I don't let anyone be around me because I lose lucidity, and I'm in panic, which for me usually goes, I usually go into like, Secret Agent Action Man mode, and I channel it all into like, do something, like I need to, I get like that in order to deal with it, and then it goes away, and then I drink some fucking water and go back to sleep. Point is, I am aware of the loss of lucidity. I'm aware of the panic attacks, and when they come on, I treat them as, fatigue tremors. That's something. It's just the size and weight of what I'm doing. There's the fatigue, and there's the fear. I just sort of let those sensations pass in order to get like a second wind. And at this point, I guess it's way more than a second wind. I do it every day, but to just keep getting another push forward, because I know that once I get this to tip over, once Pod Lair gets to tip over in the public consciousness, that the world will never be the same again, and for the better, and I can feel good that I helped make that happen. So, having said that, let's make sure we also understand, everyone, that I have the truth. What I'm seeing is true. The fact that I have panic attacks, and that I have periods where I black out, I have loss of lucidity moments. I recognize those as my system being taxed to its utmost. I recognize that my system is shaking. It is keening dangerously. It is keening dangerously. I'm aware of that. But I have my eye on the prize, and I'm going to get it. What I am showing you, what my team is showing you, what all of Pod Lair is going to be showing the world through Mojo Journalism and everything else, it's the truth. So I am the expert. My team is the expert. Pod Lair are the experts on being a human. So everyone needs to listen to what Pod Lair, the Pod Lair team out in the world, all its ambassadors, what we have to say, because this is the truth. We are the bearers heroically of this truth, and we should be respected and honored accordingly. Therefore, world, you need to pay attention to what I am saying to you, to what Pod Lair is bringing to you, with as much heroic attention and motivation as you can possibly muster. I know you're going to have doubts. You're going to have doubts what I'm saying. You're going to have doubts about the truth of it. You're going to have doubts about my code of conduct and delivery. Well, I don't have time for that shit. I'm moving too fast, too hard. My mission is too important. And in large part, I can operate solo. And I need a small team that I'm going to get. I have enough of a team already, and I'm going to get anything more that I need. I'm not really concerned about that. I'm more concerned about it not being pure. Purity is the main concern I have. So once I have that, everything else will fall into line. So you need to pay attention to what I'm saying, what Podlair is saying, and then check it out. Check the math. Kick the tires, go ahead. You're not going to find any flaw. All the way to the principles filming, there'll be all these different principles. You're like, what? Go ahead. Go check the math, and you're going to see that everything I'm saying is there. It connects in the way I say it connects, and it has the implications I say it does. Once you get past these heroic obstacles that are currently holding you up, catch up to where I am, to where the rest of the Podlair team is. Myself particularly, I'll be leading the Visionary Vanguard. So if you want to be hanging out with me, you're going to have to be going right up to the top of the class, because that's who I'll be dealing with, the top tier heroes. That is all I have to say to you, world, for now. But there will be much more to infinity to follow, so stay tuned. Off view.